Welcome back to the channel. It is January 28th, and this is going to be the Draftkings breakdown for January 29th slate. On this slate, we have, let's see, we got 10 game slate after the small Thursday slate. So you guys are going to be jam-packed with a ton of firepower to pay up for on this slate. And we're going to get straight into it. We're going to look for the value. You know how we do it, 7K and below. But before we do that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MessageSD. And now we're going to find our value plays so you can pay up for these high opportunity stars like Giannis, Jokic, Luka Doncic, James Harden, Bradley Beal, who's been an absolute monster. I mean, he's a one-man team, and he has no help. So he's probably going to be requesting a trade anytime soon now, and we will see if he's going to be going on to greener pastures. But let's find that value for you. We're looking at the point guard position, and the first guy I'm going to look at is someone who's just recently got boosted up back to the starting five for the Cleveland Cavaliers, and that's going to be Darius Garland at 5K. We're going to put him as our first play at point guard. This is someone who shouldn't be 5K at all, and the only reason why he is that cheap is because he was coming back from injury. They slow started him off the bench, and now he's being acclimated back to that starting lineup. If you look to the times when he was starting, you're looking at 30 minutes plus, sometimes over 40 minutes, depending on the game situation. But you see the production here. He can provide you 41 DK. He came up with a game with 53 DK, 37. All these high DraftKings point totals, and only at a very, very cheap price. I understand Colin Sexton is getting the most publicity after what he did against the Brooklyn Nets, but Darius Garland is part of that 1-2 punch that they have on Cleveland, and against a lower echelon New York Knicks team, I think they'll focus in on Sexton. Garland will be able to cook and make some threes, some timely threes, and at 5K, he's just way too cheap. We're going to take full advantage of that. Every play I'm giving you on every position there's a ton of value, and I think a ton of upside, and that's what you look for, okay? So you can pay up for those other positions. So shooting guard, we're going to look at a game situation where we have a high up-tempo game between the Oklahoma City Thunder going up against the Brooklyn Nets. I understand the Nets do not play any defense. I understand. I'm a Nets fan, but that's fine because we have three of the top 10 scorers in the league. We have three of the most dynamic scorers ever in NBA history, to be perfectly honest with you. And KD, Kyrie, and James Harden. These guys are totally dynamic and game changers. So if you have to go up against that firepower, the Thunder are going to need scorers to compete with the Nets. Honestly, I don't think they will keep it close, but this is a guy who's going to have to take some minutes because George Hill is going to be out for this game. They're going to need a shooting guard, and Hamidou Diallo is their sixth man off the bench. He has been very efficient. If you're just looking at the minutes and the production, if he gets more time, then he can really, go way over that 20 DK threshold. And you see 26 DK against the Clippers. The previous time he faced the Brooklyn Nets, he had 43 DK. And the game before that, he had 43 DK against the Knicks. So, I mean, we already seen a little snippet of what can happen. He did that in 24 minutes. 24 minutes, 43 DK at 3,900. He has never been this cheap all year. We're going to take full advantage of that, especially with George Hill being out. And we're going to move on to the next position. Small forward. We're going to look at a recent trade, and that's going to be Taurean Prince, also on the Cleveland Cavaliers, going up against the Knicks. And he has turned a full stone since being newly acquired to the Cavaliers. He has been very, very efficient from the three-point line. 3 of 6 the last game against the Detroit Pistons. Got you 37 DK. This is the sixth man on their team. Cedi Osman is starting. Garland is now starting. So he's not really sharing the ball with many players on that second unit. And he's that main scorer. He's been doing very well since he's been over there, him and Jared Allen. And I think Taurean Prince at 4,700 has some upside. He's getting some more starters minutes now. And Larry Nance is questionable, so it's not 100% sure that he'll play. So that's a booster for him as well. Taurean Prince is going to be our cheap play at small forward. Next, we are going to look at power forward. And every time I spoke about him on a previous video, LaMarcus Aldridge, and we're going to take advantage of it again. Every time I see this man at 5,500, I'm going to play him. There's no way, no how that he should be 5,500. There's not a 5K player. It's not. Even at his age, like he's been the type of player he is now. Understand he's a 2-point shooter, du jour, and he does lack some rebounds, but the upside is there. The last time he was 5,500, you see it right here against Dallas. He showed up, got 30 minutes, took 18 shots, got you 43.75 DK. And that's what I'm looking for, because he's going to take over, 10, 11, 12, 13 shots, because it's between Aldridge, it's DeRozan, and then DeJounte Murray chips in a little bit. But this is still, Aldridge and DeRozan's team. He's a veteran. He's going to get the ball, and he is just way too cheap. They're going to need his presence going up against Jokic in that Denver front court, okay? And last but not least, we're going to look at the center position. And this man has a little bit of a baby narrative. That's why he came out and showed up on that first game out within 30 minutes against Phoenix. Really toyed with DeAndre Ayton. That baby narrative is very, very powerful. I'm not saying he's going to get the same performance, but I think he can definitely do something similar. At 5,600 against the Phoenix Suns, got you 21 points, 11 rebounds, 1 block, and 2 assists. That was a very good performance. The last time he faced the Brooklyn Nets in 28 minutes, he got you 38 DK, and that's what I wanted to see. If I'm paying 5,900, you give me, close to that 40-point mark. That is a definite lock. We're gonna have that in almost every lineup, and he's gonna have the same situation where the Nets struggle with the rebounding department just a little bit. They're going to give up points. And DeAndre Jordan is not going to come out to that 3-point line. Well, Horford is very efficient for a big man. He was 5 of 5 against Phoenix, 3 of 7 against Brooklyn, and 3 of 7 against the New York Knicks. We're going with Al Horford at the center position, and that is going to fill out our top 5 core for tomorrow's slate, leaving you 8.3K for guard, forward, and utility. If you put Antetokounmpo in there, that's going to leave you 71. So there's tons of value and tons of ideas you could do with this core, and you could still pay up at other spots. Let me know how you feel about it. Do you like it? Do you disagree with any of my choices? Feel free to comment in that comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Also, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MessNetJSD. And I'll be back with another video tomorrow. Peace out.